Hi, Sayan, how are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm fine, sir.
Okay, so Sayan, I'm interacting it with you, I believe, as third time. So I interacted with you earlier also, and
Yeah,
you are presently doing your masters in IIT Kharagpur.
yeah,
And my this interaction with you is going to be very, very interesting and informative, Sian, because you are graduate from very, very prestigious Jadavpur University, West Bengal, and then you explored opportunities for MS abroad, and you got selected into very prestigious Polytechnic di Milano, that is in Italy, and University in Stuttgart in Germany, and now you are in IIT Kharagpur. So obviously, we always interact with candidates who get masters abroad and then join masters. And IITs are wonderful institutes. You are sitting in one of the labs, which is very prestigious lab of IIT Kharagpur. So, why you thought of doing masters from IIT Kharagpur, and what are your future plans? This entire thing I'm going to interact with you. So, for my audience, Sayan, first, very briefly, if you can tell about you and your this entire journey briefly, which I just mentioned uh, right now.
yeah, yes, sir. So I am actually electrical engineering graduate from Jadavpur University in 2022,
Okay.
and after that I joined PwC India. I worked there as a consultant, and after that I have also worked at Iskra, which is a
Hmm.
Slovenian smart metering company, and I have worked
Hmm.
there as a senior software engineer.
Hmm.
So I actually had an interest of going into the R&D domain. So after
Hmm.
that, I began to explore my options that how can I pursue my higher studies. So my major goal was I have to pursue a domain which will have some link with electrical, but which will also have the CS, because without CS in today's world we cannot do any kind of research or any kind of R&D, because it is the
Hmm.
major domain where funding is there.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so after that I wrote the gate exam. So
Hmm.
I qualified, but it was not that much a great score that I will get
Hmm.
mtechs at
Hmm.
good colleges. So
Hmm.
top five IITs or ISCs.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
after that I was a bit frustrated, so then I contacted YourPedia, and
Hmm.
it actually helped me a lot. So, and I thought that I will go abroad where I am getting better ranked universities, obviously.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
applied to a lot of universities.
Hmm.
Basically, my criteria was where the spending will be less. So I applied
Hmm.
in Germany and in Polytechnic Milan in Italy. And Germany, a lot of colleges I applied. So, and after that, I got the admission offer from University of Stuttgart, and in electrical engineering. That is, so one thing I realized that when I'm applying abroad, so they are considering the bachelor's courses. So basically I'm not able to switch to CS so easily. So if
Hmm.
doing electrical, so I'm getting electrical options there.
Okay.
So I got in Stuttgart electrical, and in Polytechnic Milan I applied for both CS and telecommunication engineering. So I got the
Hmm.
telecommunication engineering.
Okay.
uh, that was that. After that, I also I came to know about this MS
Hmm.
thing in IT, which is also there. So
Hmm.
here you need to have a good gate score, but after that also there is another separate. So gate score is required for the qualification, but
Hmm.
after that they have a separate exam and a separate interview. So I gave that. I qualified to the gate score, and I gave the exam and also the interview. And
Hmm.
and then I got the opportunity to do this. And so
Hmm.
I was also looking at this lab, the high PRC lab. So the
Hmm.
interesting is in this lab. From about 10 PhD graduates, 9 have gone to the industry. So this
Oh,
interested,
hmm. Hmm.
and
Wonderful.
yeah, so
Hmm.
this interested me. So
Hmm.
that's why I looked at sales profile and what the work they were doing. And so actually, there we are working on cyber physical system. So
Hmm.
there is the control system, and then there is reinforcement learning. So
Hmm.
that was like more aligned to what I was looking for, like going the background of electrical, that is the control system, and also the
Hmm.
C, that is the AI and the reinforcement learning. So it was a perfect fit.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that interested me, and I then decided to join here.
Okay. Okay. So, Sayan, whatever you told me, I have couple of good, points to discuss. You mentioned that high gate score may be required for getting into MTech programs, and you could get master's program. There is an interview in master's program, which is MS programs. I strongly believe that MS program is far better than MTech program if you want to pursue research in future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree. If both, if you want to pursue research on an academic line, or if you
Yeah.
want to go into R&D in industry, both.
If you even if you want industrial jobs, MS is
Yeah.
very good program. But then there are so many students, and honestly speaking, who are capable, who have very good CGPA, and who have gate score is not very high, because for MS the criteria is like there has to be interview like PhD. So gate is just one criteria for shortlisting, and once you are shortlisted, then professors will interview and check your research bent of mind, which is checked through the interview. So that is a criteria, but students misunderstand that because less gate score may you get entry call, that means it may not be very good course. That is a misinterpretation on the part of students.
So if sir, if by that logic, then in foreign there is no interview, no exam,
Yes.
and nothing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that does not mean that course is less prestigious. So in
Yeah.
India, people have a habit that if we are not struggling for something, then it is not good. So it
uh,
is not good if you have already proved yourself in your, and
yes.
in MS also. See, in MS, what my opinion is, MS is easier to get into maybe than MTech,
Okay.
but it
Mm-hmm.
is difficult to complete. If you
Mm-hmm.
are not able to, like, if you are taking admission in MTech, so many
Mm-hmm.
people don't know this, so I'm telling this for information. For
Mm-hmm.
MTech guys, if they are taking a subject, even if they get F grade, they will pass that subject. But
Okay.
for MS people, you have to get minimum C grade. You cannot get
Okay.
below that. You will not
Okay.
pass,
Okay.
because
Mm.
the institute, at least Kharagpur, they have said that the research scholars need to perform better than the
Mm.
than normal.
Mm.
So
Mm.
actually it is difficult to pass, because you have to also complete your thesis. And
Mm.
so that's why I mean, so there are different type of courses in MTech. You basically come for placements. You
Mm.
like complete your 2 years, you get your placement. In MS, you come
Mm.
to do the research. If you complete the your research proposal, then only you will
Okay.
graduate out of MS.
Mm. Mm.
So that's
Okay.
the
So yeah, so Sayan, now I'll come little later to this research lab in which you are presently working, you are sitting, and maybe my audience will get more information about that. But Sayan, tell me, like master's program which you are doing in IIT Kharagpur right now, eventually you will end up spending no money because you get scholarship also, and then there's a fees also. So
actually.
how does it go?
Yeah, so actually in Kharagpur, they are giving a stipend is very good. So they have actually given me the JRF equivalent stipend, that is 37,000.
37,000 in
Yeah,
MS.
in MS. Yeah.
Oh, oh,
So what
good.
actually in Kharagpur you need to be associated with a project
Mm,
for doing your MS. So
mm.
that project JRF fellowship you get. You are, since you are get qualified, so you are viable for that fellowship. So I am getting 37,000 for doing my masters here, and as per
Okay,
the fees is concerned, per semester fees is around 40,000. So if you
okay,
calculate in net, it
yeah.
is a very big gain. I mean, at least
Mm-hmm.
I have to not
You
spend
end up
from my
saving also.
pocket.
That
Yeah.
means you can end up saving money also.
Yeah, I can see.
Mm.
That's
But this scholarship in other IITs is not there for MS because they get 12,400 rupees only.
no. In other IITs, not there. In Kharagpur, actually, the MS provides that. That was one of the main reason. Also, it's my home state, so that is and in one IIT they give a lot more. What I have heard, but I have not actually known in detail. That is in IIT Delhi School, ERT School of AI.
Okay. Mm.
Their MS student, I think they even receive some to the score of around 60,000.
Mm. Okay. So
So, but
so this is through project or what? What did you say that in
I
IIT
am
Kharagpur?
through project. So I am in a project. So that is actually towards secure and resilient collaborative autonomous driving. So this is
Okay.
a joint project between IIT Kharagpur, IIT Jodhpur,
Mm.
and
Mm.
University of Buffalo and University
Mm.
of California, Irvine.
Mm.
So I am associated with this project, and there will also be some joint publications with
Mm.
abroad universities
Okay.
also. So
So what is
through
the
this project, the JRF fellowship I am getting while doing
mm.
MS.
So what was the process for you, Sayan? Like, what is the timeline for application, and there is a how you go for it?
Yeah. So the first thing is on the particular, you have to first see that on which lab you want to do the MS. For IIT Kharagpur, I'm saying this. It
Mm-hmm.
different. So it's different for different IITs. So for IIT
Yes.
Kharagpur, you have to first identify the lab. Okay. And if
Mm,
you identify the lab, and some of the departments, they take MS student, like CSE, electrical, electronics, mechanical, they take the
mm,
MS student.
mm,
So
mm.
you identify the lab, and on for that lab, for that particular professor, there are some research projects which are listed in IIT Kharagpur ERP. So you apply to that research project.
Okay.
To apply to that research project, first you have to qualify as a JRF for that research project, and
Mm,
for that you need the gate qualification. Okay.
mm, mm,
And
mm,
once you qualify and you join the project, after joining the project, in two particular sessions, like in abroad, they take the admission of MS.
mm,
One is around January, and one is around this, which I joined in
mm. Okay.
this April. Okay,
Mm,
April May. This May around. So these are the two. So if you join the project, like I joined the project in April, and in May I gave the MS interview. So in IIT Kharagpur, there is a rule that only those who have joined the project will be able to give the
okay.
interview. But
Mm,
that is
mm,
not present in other IITs. Like in IIT
mm,
Madras, you can directly give the interview, but then also the fellowship also you will get less.
mm.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you need to have gate score for that?
yeah, you need to have.
Mm, mm,
And after that, after joining, I mean, after that exam, first written exam will be there. After the qualifying the written exam, then interview will be there, and then they will. If you are qualified, then they will give you the admission.
mm. Okay, wonderful. And typically, what is the duration of MS program in IIT Kharagpur?
Actually, the minimum duration they say is 2 years, but it may take around 2.5 to 2.8 years. But it doesn't take more than 3 years anyhow.
Hmm. Okay, wonderful. And Sayan, now I know I have interacted with you earlier. Also, you have, ultimate destination which you want to reach is maybe through PhD. Want to end up somewhere in academics or research. So, PhD. When it comes to PhD, then MS people do MS and then they go for PhD programs. So, do you think that the probability to get very good PhD, maybe top universities in the world, is equally high if you do masters from premium institutes like India, or do you need to go abroad only to get PhD positions in foreign universities?
No. I think it is equally probable if you are doing it from IIT or ISC or masters,
Mm, mm,
then it is top
mm,
six IITs, top six or
mm,
seven
mm,
IITs, and ISC Bangalore.
mm,
Uh, you are actually very much, at least for US and Singapore, I can say it is very
mm.
much more reachable than your masters in Europe. But if
Yes.
you say it is PhD in Europe, then
Mm,
maybe if you have done the MS in Europe, your network would have helped
mm,
you. That is the
mm.
fact. Like
Okay.
suppose a person is like, suppose I just say, like, suppose a person is like going to
Mm,
University of Stuttgart. Okay,
mhm,
so
mm.
then Max Planck Institute of Intelligence System is just near to it, and they
Okay.
collaborate. So
Mm,
if masters he collaborate, he can get it more easily. But
mm.
you can go from here also. So the main thing that requires is, I think, that you need to have good publication.
Yes.
And
Good researcher.
in MS abroad, it is difficult to get a publication in 2 years. Honestly,
Yes. Yes.
it is difficult.
Mm, mm,
But in IITs, they have designed the course for the publication. So at
mm,
least one or two publication you will have, because
mm,
the people in the lab who are working for the PhD, you will help them,
mm,
and you will also
mm.
have
Yes.
a first person paper. So if you have a good paper in at least a good A or A star conference or a, Q1 journal, then you can
Mm.
easily get a PhD in US or in actually Singapore.
So yeah, yeah.
So
Okay. So
generally,
say,
we take
mm,
only if you have a good paper, you can get a direct PhD abroad.
dry PhD also.
I
Yes.
actually have. I was not with that much research inclined in BTech, so
Okay. Mm. Okay.
that's
So if we give a strategy to students in India, those who do not want to spend money and want to have the same career path, so it will be like you do your undergrad. And after undergrad, you join premium institutes in India, IITs and all, IITs, ISCs, triple IITs, and even NITs. They're very good universities. Do good research work, and when you do your masters from these universities, eventually you do not spend any money, because even if you get very less scholarship, that is sufficient enough to meet your expenditure. So you end up paying no money. And when you get PhD, if you have done very good research work or you have research publication in masters, then you get opportunity for fully funded PhD programs in foreign universities.
Yeah, you
And
will get
yeah,
you will surely get. There is
yeah,
also that MS, and there is also MTech research. So that is also
MTech.
same. Yeah,
Hmm. And MTech research, or MS, it is called. So that is better course if you have any kind of inclination for PhD abroad, because
yeah,
that gives you opportunity to publish paper, or maybe six
yeah,
more months to be in lab and do the research, right?
yeah. It is
Yeah,
better because first of all, in your coursework get reduced,
yeah.
so you
Hmm.
get more time, and
Yes,
you can work on the domain that you are inclined, right? So
yes,
if I'm in MTech, I have to also study database, but
yeah.
I
Hmm.
do not need, I will study only the subjects which are needed for my cyber physical system
True.
path. So my time is
Hmm.
increased. So that is also
Hmm. True. So, Sam, now coming to this research lab in which you are sitting, so please give some idea to my audience about this research lab also. What is the name of this research lab? Which kind of background students can think of joining these research labs? What are the various career opportunities once you graduate from this lab as master students or as PhD students?
yeah. So this is the high performance real time computing laboratory of IIT Kharagpur. So it is presently headed by my professor Shomojit De. And so this lab majorly works on security and safety of cyber physical systems. So we work on reinforcement learning and also control system engineering, that is like model based predictive controllers and that. And there is also work going on in robotics. So this lab actually they frequently publish in good A-star conferences like RTSS, and then the ICC International Cyber Physical System Symposium. So these good conferences they publish, and also in good journals like IEEE Q1 journals they publish.
Mm.
So for MS students, for MS students from here, those have joined. Some of the MS students have joined the industry. Like they get roles like formal verification engineer in Intel. Anyone can check the lab's website. Their past students' names also mentioned there, and
Mm.
where they're present. And from MS, they will get these kind of jobs, and they can also go for PhD. They can go for
Mm.
PhD here also, and they can go for PhD abroad also.
Mm.
And for PhD students, they generally from this lab they join the industry. So generally, the roles offered are basically senior lead engineer in Qualcomm and
Mm.
Intel. So these are the companies which generally work on our domain. So
Mm.
Qualcomm, Intel, Nvidia. Also, there
Mm.
is work going on in GPU, which is the
Okay.
modern, I mean, more GPU acceleration work also happens here. So
Mm.
Nvidia, Intel, Qualcomm, and apart from this, Amazon, like applied scientists, this type of role also to get. So generally, for PhD graduating students, they get around jobs around more than 40 LPA, I would say.
Mm. Okay.
In
Wonderful.
India,
Okay.
and some people have also done PhD here and gone for postdoc abroad in
Mm.
good colleges, and like
Mm.
NUS Singapore, one
Mm.
one girl recently went to NUS Singapore
Mm.
postdoc, and two people have joined as faculty after completing
Mm.
PhD here. So one has done her PhD from Max Planck Institute software system, and she is now she has done her MS here and she has done PhD there, and she is now faculty at Saarland in some Germany. And another person is like Shumona Ghosh ma'am, who has done PhD here, and
Mm.
she has joined as faculty at ISI Kolkata.
Okay. Mm.
So both in
Mm.
academics and in corporate also people go. This is a
Mm.
new domain, a cyber physical system. Only two labs in India work. This is one, and another is the Robert Bosch Center for Cyber Physical System at IIT Bangalore. So in India,
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so Sayan, I also know that you have explored opportunities abroad, and you have a fairly good idea about these opportunities there. So can you tell very briefly to my audience, those who have decided to go for masters abroad, there are students who want to go abroad, and Germany and Italy, they are the favorite destination because it is a cost effective for us. So very briefly, you can throw some light on this as part also.
Yeah, so going for masters abroad, if you have like some, you have to show your profile as something better. So if
Mm,
you have a bachelor's from a good college and if you have good grades, so that is a good for starters.
mm,
And after that, if you have done some research work or if you have some corporate experience, so that is
mm,
also an addition there.
mm, mm,
And another thing I will say is that uh, yeah, so and if for that, yes, another thing is that letter of recommendation. So
mm,
if any professor gives good letter of recommendation, who is
mm,
a good professor in that domain, if he gives
mm.
a good letter of recommendation to you, then you can easily get good offers.
Okay.
And yeah, and one thing I will say that like people need to I mean, try to learn the language of where they're going. Because when I applied, and after that I talked with my some seniors who are in Germany and Italy also. One junior of my is there in Polytechnic Milan only. So he
Mm,
said that for getting jobs there, it is
mm.
required that at least B2 level of language is at least needed. And in the present situation, I'm saying, because like a lot of things are going there. So I will suggest that if you want to go abroad, at least in Europe, you should try to learn the language before in India when you are
Yes.
comfortable. So that will really help you in getting
Mm.
good jobs there.
Wonderful. I think that is the summary of entire our discussions here. So, masters from abroad, top universities or from India, that is the decision of the students. But in my opinion, also, I mean, you can reach to the best opportunities. This, you go this way, you go that way. So
Yeah.
only thing is like it is your own personal decision. But yes, a couple of things are very important, that working in a really good research lab with the research professors. And also we know that our IIT system is one of the best in the world. I mean, best faculty and research group, research labs. So if you are inclined for research work, you can do wonderful research from India also. So I think that is what I wanted to interact and discuss with you, Sam. If anything which I must have missed and you want to tell the viewers.
No, I just want to thank YourPedia for the
Okay.
guidance they have provided me. So I absolutely had no idea how to apply abroad, and that it was possible to get admission abroad in good colleges. So I want to thank YourPedia for that.
Okay. So, Sian, I wish you all the very best for your masters here. And as I keep on popping up and keep on interacting, so maybe towards the end of your masters or when you'll be in the transition from masters to next, your career destination, I'll again pop up and interact with
Yeah.
you.